Hey everyone, Oddz here. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a replay review. We've got 4 replays to go over. There's a lot of people in the Mechacademy Discord asking for a little bit of help with their replays. And so I decided, hey, let's put on a stream, let's do it. And we actually have a special guest here in voice, Eric Getlum. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, come say hi.
Hey. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. Hey, Mom, get the camera. All right, so I've got your replay up here. So you're in the red in the north. I'm just going to read quickly what you've written here in the submission. Where is it? Not that one. Okay, so you said you're at around 13 to 1400. This is, Grenade, Fang, and Typhoon game, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little bit of idea of what's going on here?
It's an experiment I wanted to do for the last orc build challenge with the grenade fangs, and since the fangs lose the ability to shoot in the air when you click grenades, but I still value the barrier tech
Right.
very much. I thought of combining the fangs with the Typhoon, who can have both the barrier and the air spec tech to compensate for the fangs shooting only in the ground.
Okay,
and
I see.
That's actually the first time I got to do it with the Typhoon spec and the fang start. I didn't want to rely on a random drop for the Typhoons, so that's my first and only try at this.
Okay, so you've got a game plan coming into this. You want to use Typhoons, and you want to use the Fangs with the grenade launcher. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool. So that's great. I think right off the bat, going into a game with a game plan here is obviously going to be good. Actually, you see you get Assault Fang offered here.
Yeah, and I took it, but after the game, I wondered if it was maybe a mistake.
Yeah, so I haven't played too much Carry Fang. I have played it a bit, and I think Assault Fang is pretty good. Like, but there are some cases where it doesn't work. I don't know specifically why or when, but in general, I'm pretty sure that Assault Fang is what you want when you're building a whole lot of them, because yes, you reduce the range, but increasing the speed is very good. The attack is also very good too. But the speed, if you have units that are spread out across your whole board, you're able to actually close in on towers and kill towers really quickly. So that can be pretty effective with the assault mode. Also, the units that you put in the back, they're faster, they move forward. So you have less like dead units. There's more units shooting at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. I tend to play the carry fangs in a tighter formation around the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should spread more, given what you said.
Yeah. So the way I see that composition here with the fangs and with your barrier idea, and this is the same with like fortresses or whatever as well, is these are units that pair together well. So you can actually just sort of put little pockets of units in places. So you can say, okay, I'm going to put a Typhoon here and a Fang here, and they're like going to be next to each other, and they're just generally going to do well together. The same with, for example, I talked about this in a video a long time ago, but there's unit pairings that you can use. So for example, Hound and Saber, or Arclight and Saber, for example, right? We have like one big beefy single target damage unit, and then we have one Chaff Clear unit. And you can literally put them anywhere on your board next to each other, and generally it's gonna work out fine. Right, so now we see you've got some Typhoons here, and we're gonna put them all together here. I'm not sure about this. I would maybe move the horizontal Typhoon to be vertical here on this guy. Oh, it looks like you're going to do a double horizontal. So a tip about the Typhoons here being horizontal versus vertical. In the vertical formation, each Typhoon has, regardless, each Typhoon has a bubble, right? So if you had them horizontal here, both bubbles are in the exact same spot. And then if you go up against a counter, a common counter, the Scorpion, when the Scorpion shoots, it's going to pop both bubbles together. But if you had them vertical, it's going to pop only one bubble, and you're going to have the other bubble behind still alive.
Okay, that's a nice one.
It's like hugely more effective. So if you can do that vertical, that works better. And so you can see that also, like if you're to do a flank, yeah, sometimes you can do it. Well, on a flank it would be vertical, right? I'm making a box on my screen. Sometimes you do like Chaff, Typhoon, and then like Phantom Ray or something. That can work. But you can also do it vertical, or I guess it would be horizontal this way, right? And then that way you're going to have that same effect. It just really depends on how you want to do the flank. But being that you're doing Hounds, or sorry, not Hounds, Fangs and Typhoon, I want to see more flanking. Here's round 4. This is your Typhoon Specialist power turn. So you've already got, this is your 3rd Typhoon. This is great. It's looking good. You're selling out of the steel balls. Yeah, you don't need those. So far, so good. And I would look for another tech. Okay, you're going to go bubble first. I guess that's fine. Oh, these are a lot of level 2 Mustangs already. Wow. I guess the bubble is good then. Sorry, go ahead.
The Mustangs were the reason I was wondering if the shorten range was a mistake. And they were the reason to click barrier this early.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, my opponent said that it was my mistake that I clicked the barrier this early, but I'm not sure if it would be better without it.
Yeah, so let's look at the formation here. It looks like they are shooting the barrier. They get the barrier, and also notice the Fangs are in front. So now the barrier's dead. The barrier's dead. The Fangs are... No, they're still alive, actually, but they are starting to get cleaned up a bit. I think the barrier was a good choice here, but you do win the round. Because this is the biggest threat to you right now. Mustang is always the biggest threat against Fang. And that is, you're right. You know, Assault Fang brings them closer and makes the them go kind of in front of stuff. And then the Mustang will be able to have an easier time picking them off. But I'm wondering that when you click Grenade Launcher, I think it's pretty good against Mustang. So in that case, I don't know if it matters.
Yeah, actually, after I clicked it, I started gathering levels on the Fangs quite quickly.
Okay. In chat, Red Scare says, against Mustangs, it's better to go for armor than barrier. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
that was what my opponent said as well.
Yeah. Okay.
That I should have chosen a tank with armor.
The problem also is like the attacks are pretty slow on the Fang. Round 5. So now you got Grenade Launcher. So in a typical Fang carry game, it's like round 2 you get range, and round 3 you often get your second tech. If you have, it used to be armor piercing on round 3, but now I guess Without armor piercing, I don't know if grenade launcher can be round 3. Maybe it would be round 4. I feel like you're around late because you had to spend that tech on barrier here.
Yeah.
And now you can see, yeah, now the scorpions are out and your opponent here has the comp going with the Mustang Scorp, which is good. Excuse me, which was quite strong against you.
Yeah, a real comp against me, and despite that, I think it did pretty well until the fire came.
Yeah, so you notice also because the Typhoons are horizontal, they're both getting shot at once. Both their shields go down at once, so a little bit less effective. It's good that you have crawlers streaming in, though. I will say that. Sometimes the crawlers are kind of neglected in fan carry game, but they're still very important. So that's good. The choice of the Stormcaller here, man, that's your gold damage, so I guess that works out there. Maybe you can force the Missile Interceptor to be chosen. That would be good. See, look at that. See the Scorpion this time? It only got the first barrier, and then I had to shoot again to get that other barrier, because they were lined up that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so round 6, there's super supply, nano barrier. None of this is good for you, I don't think. Unless you were to try to pivot to Fortress, but you're trying with the Typhoon here.
Yeah, it was an experiment I wanted to go through with.
All right, so with the assault mode or assault fang on the fang carry here, I would like to see more aggression as well. So on the left side here, you have all the stuff defending your tower, but you can actually go like full up against the line here. You just need to leave the one fang in the back. Everything else can be up on the line, and you can start pulling things on the sides and stuff as well. If we see this position on the right, we have all these scorpions here. And you've probably seen like when you put, you know, like crawler and like sledges down in the back corner here, it's going to end up pulling a whole lot of stuff. And I bet you it would do a lot in helping mitigate some damage here, popping the shields too early. We can try that quickly after. I'm going to do a little take over the replay maybe after the game for a couple rounds. Okay, tempo missile. Looks okay. Some of these fangs are getting high level. Round 6 and only 2 techs still, though. You know what? These fangs are actually kind of getting in the way. So they're saving your Typhoons from the Scorpion. Which is kind of interesting.
You contribute this to the lower range? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So the Typhoon has 100 range, and the Fang has 100 range as well, now with the Assault Fang. So they kind of get jumbled up together a bit. So sometimes they're in front. See that? It kind of missed that Typhoon there. So it's kind of a weird breakpoint. I think, so you're missing a bit of damage here, I think. I'm wondering if homing missile is an idea. I don't know. These Scorpions, now they got field maintenance. Let's see. Okay, you've got subsidized crawler here. You got both of your upgrades. That's really, really good. You don't have to worry about the smoke because you got the barriers already.
I think I just clicked the missiles. Yeah.
So as I'm watching this, what I'm looking for is where the chaff is dying. And it looks like you are kind of overwhelming here on the right. There's too much stuff.
The smoke did more for me than for my opponent.
Yeah, even though you're in the smoke, it just moves you forward. It's no big deal. So, you're losing on the left here. So now, I don't know, what do you think you can do? Oh, you did get the homing missile. Nice. What do you think you can do here to try and even out the game, like on the left side?
I don't know, maybe another typhoon and a couple fangs.
Yeah, sure.
Unit as you suggested.
The Stormcaller looks like also just this one Stormcaller has baited out the anti-missile on all of those Mustang. So you should be looking to sell that as well. It's not going to be... it did only 234 damage that round. So this is something you need to pay attention to as well. Hopefully I'll see you sell that.
I don't remember if I sold it.
And now we got a unit drop here. Void Eye? Okay. Why'd you choose the Void Eye?
That's something... I watched the VOD of one of your live streams, and Pucci said that he uses Void Eyes with shield and the EMP armor.
Okay.
So I started using those for like in this case they take a shot from the Scorpion, for example, and the Scorpion loses the range in the other tech and goes forward. That's the logic. At least.
Okay, I like it.
I can't say it was I can't say it was that successful though.
Well, okay, we'll see. My thought, I wouldn't have gone for the Void Eye, I don't think. But I'm crazy. I might have gone for the Saber. Because the Saber has a lot of single target damage that can help pop these Scorpions. But I think the Void Eyes could be alright. You do put the level 1 as well, sure. And yeah, here comes the fire. So is this the round that you're talking about, the fire?
Yeah. I always have it in the back of my head that ground fire is the death of tanks, and despite that, I don't know. I just forgot to prepare for it.
What would you have done to prepare for this?
Just hounds, like both hounds and typhoons, and even the Void Eyes are 4x2. So they can fit next to each other in the formation I'm usually using. If I put them vertically, they can fit between the fangs next to each other. So if I already had some bases prepared for the hounds, I could just deploy a couple with the sprinklers.
I see. Yeah, the incendiary is offered here. Yeah, so last round I'd say, you wouldn't know this would be coming, especially the incendiary bomb. So you wouldn't have like the hounds and whatever. It wouldn't be a good idea to just randomly put in the sweep on hounds at some point. It's only when you kind of know fire is going to come. So now that we know fire is here, we know that incendiary bomb is clicked, and we also know that there is a incendiary bomb spell.
Yeah, the problem is I didn't leave space for them, so they were in some awkward positions.
Yeah, how do you place this? I see. Yeah, they're right in front. They're gonna get shot immediately, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, though, like, I will say, you've already got sub-training and +2 defense. So your crawlers should be in a good spot against fire. You could even level them. I don't think you really want to, but you could.
I usually avoid to do it unless there is a replicate on replicate action.
One thing as well, against fire, your board is pretty much all on the right side here. So fire does very well against you, and if you're spread out, you know, it can only do half of your army instead of all of it. Left side gets smashed, your right side is... it's through the fire now, but now there's a bit too much damage. Another round of incendiary comes out. Actually, almost pushing through. That's probably game. Okay.
Yeah, after the fire, pretty much over.
Alright, let's see if we can change a few things here. So round 8. This is the unit drop turn. So let's take your game here. So now this is when we know that there is anti-missile. And this is a unit drop turn. What can we do here differently? I said maybe saber. We can try that. We can sell out of that the missile guy, the Stormcaller. We want to take all of our levels here. We probably want Mech Rage. And let's see if we can 1, 2, 3. We'll try to pull on the back here. I wonder if... Can we do anything with this? Loan, and then... I don't know if this is going to work or anything, but... Let's see if this is different. I want to see how this works on the left here, how much we pull. It looks like we can pull 2 Scorps, which is going to give us a lot more flexibility here coming in. So the fire does come down. But are we okay? Getting on the tower. Okay. Oh, we get another tower. What? Okay, so we actually end up winning this round, it looks like. So that was the fire round, and we still end up winning somehow. So I think that just goes to show, like, the pull here is, like, really effective. Because then we have all this stuff not actually shooting and killing the shields right away. So you can walk through the fire a bit better. The following round, I would then probably sell this saber and get the money for that. And, or put another flank over here and try and push in again.
Oh, with the saber?
Yeah, sometimes you can keep it. But if we put a pull here, then we can try and go in with the saber again. If this was another round after. So that's one idea.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when you're playing aggro, I think doing the pulls is really, really important. Let's see if we can go back a few turns to the bubble turn. It's round 4, looks like. Okay. Let's take over this. Let's just skip. So this was the turn that you went for the barrier. Let's see if we can do mech rate, or actually, you want to do grenade launcher. We'll try grenade launcher instead. We got 300 here. We can actually sell this, get even more. One, two. Actually, we can do another. I'm gonna put that guy there, but like this is also something you can do that's annoying. It's just the one fang in the corners. Well, let's go like this. And so now we can kind of start like getting a surround going. Because in these aggro games, I feel like if you can get deploys just kind of everywhere, then it keeps your opponent guessing where you're going to go. And they're going to have to put stuff over here, whatever. And then they end up leaving like the open, like middle. And then you can like beacon in from the middle to a tower or something. And just like keep your opponent kind of guessing what you're doing. And can work really well sometimes. So see how this works. There was no barrier this turn. We're kind of diversifying. This might not be a win. But I think it sets us up well. Yeah, so if we went on the right a little bit faster, then our left side would be okay. Because that's the other thing too. You can try to time the towers, right? If you went on one side faster, it actually helps your other side. And then in this case, right, we would have the ability to build up the middle, build up either the flanks or keep building up this side. You can choose where you want to go, and then in the future, when fire comes down, it's going to go here, but this side is going to completely win. Right? It's not going to totally kill everything. In theory. Yeah, what else? Do you have other questions or anything?
I think we got it covered. So, do you think actually the barrier on round 4 was a good choice?
I think it's probably important to get the fangs teched. I don't know. I guess it could maybe have gone either way because I think you won the round with barrier. Maybe. But if you tech fangs earlier, then you should be able to get more levels faster, which you really want levels. I don't know. I'll try this one again, actually. We'll see with the barrier. So what did I do? I skipped that. I sold that. We'll take barrier. All these guys. You can just kind of like, I don't know. We don't have the extra typhoon. It's just whatever. It doesn't matter. So with barrier, does this guy have armor on sledge? It is available, but not chosen. That's something to be aware of too. But you did click on homing missile later, so that was good. So yeah, now it looks like the barrier kept you alive long enough. We can get that tower on the right. So barrier was the right choice?
Wait.
Well, it did better. The thing is, like, in the early rounds, I don't know if it matters too much. The most important thing is like trying to find your win condition, and in that case, that's the level on fangs. So whatever you're doing here should be to support the fangs, to get them more levels. So if that's barrier first, because you've already got level 2 Mustangs with range that you're playing against, that's fine. I thought that maybe the grenade launcher would be good, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much either way. If you went barrier first, you would have taken less damage, which is what you did, and so you did well. So I think I think you made the right choice, to be honest. Or there was armor, I think.
I was thinking about taking both the grenade and the barrier. It just left me with 150, and it was a bit awkward with the deployments.
Right.
Not sure if I sold anything.
What units do you have armor on? We can click. Do you have Phantom Ray armor? Yes, but they're already level 2. You would need to get level 2. So if we sold this, it's not quite enough. Let's see if we can get one. Hang on, 1, 2. I'm just curious. I don't know what the Phantom Rays, because there's also Phoenix here too. Like the anti-air is covered pretty well.
Yeah.
So I don't think the armor was the play. I think it was the bubble. Like this looks not very good. There was also possibly armor on the balls. But you're just asking to get, like everything basically dies to the same unit. It all dies to the Scorpion. So that's why I wouldn't tech armor on ball, personally. Yeah.
So would you, in this situation, would you sacrifice a deployment to click both the grenades and the barrier?
No. Deployments are, you only get so many a turn, right? So if we got grenade, barrier, you don't have to sacrifice anything, you just don't get the levels. Which also is not great, but it's better than losing a deployment.
And I didn't even think about it.
You can also put like this guy kind of like this. I don't know. Because then your shields don't get blasted right away. If they're just sticking out a bit. So here's both of them. Yeah, about the same. Yeah. Okay. I guess don't worry about it too much. It's yeah, I mean, the problem here was like the fire.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard, I was watching your YouTube video against Ubon and realized I could be watching live instead. Oh, hey. How's it going? So then round 9, yeah, I think we already kind of covered this. I don't know if there's really a good way to win from this position here. You're already kind of in a bad spot. You're already on one side. You're not spread out enough, so fire's going to do more against you. There's a lot of fire going on. The only other thing, like if you're up against the ropes, which you can always think about maybe doing, is like a level 2. Oh shit. Can you even afford it? Yeah. Here we go. Get this guy. And get a mobile beacon. And just kind of, it looks like level 3. Not sure where we can put this. It might die too quickly, but there's always a possibility. Sometimes it just works. So if you're up against the ropes, yeah. Actually, it might even work. Keep going. Zoom. Sorry. Actually, it actually wins the game. Oh no, the tower! Never mind. Oh, it's still alive. What the hell? Yeah, there you go. 1669 damage. And I think
that could have been enough.
1669. That would have been enough to win. Yeah, just barely. So there was a move. I mean, it only works for one round, but yeah. If you run out of options, you know, always think about that in the back of your mind. That's always, you know, a Hail Mary play.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
So there was a winning move.
There was a winning move from round 9. But ideally, you know, let's go back to the drawing board a bit here, right? You want to make sure you have room for your hounds, you said. We want to put the Typhoons vertical if we're playing aggro, and we want to play more wide as aggro. We want to try and take advantage of the flanks too. Yeah. The flanks can pull this, which gives an opening for the tower. And basically the goal with aggro, run down the tower as fast as you can. And once you get the tower, you can usually clean everything else up. So whatever you can do to do that is like good. I think you did a few too many cute moves here. Maybe like the Void Eye double tech. It's like a bit much.
Yeah.
They're already level 6. Like you could also have just clicked range charge shot or something, and like it's going to be a ton of damage and clear up the scorpions, which I maybe even would have liked better.
Yeah, now that you say it,
also, like the EMP armor should theoretically only work for one round. He should have used photon after that, but they didn't actually.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I didn't notice it working anyways.
It is working a little bit. The thing is, it only disables stuff for like, was it 4 seconds or something? 4 seconds. So it's not a lot. None of these Mustangs are shooting them. It looks like they're all dead at this point, except for this one. Nothing's shooting it.
My logic for it was simply if my opponent's units are spending time walking towards me instead of shooting me from further away.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You gotta close that gap. But I think that works better as standard when you have a bunch of units that are already in position in a line and they want to shoot from a distance. So in a standard game. But when you're playing aggro, there's already not much of a gap. Like range doesn't matter as much because you're already trying to move in fast and close the gap. So it's different from like walking into the shots versus walking towards them or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for joining me here.
Yeah, in several ways. Thanks again for having a look at it and for the comments. it really was helpful in more than one ways.
Okay, great, excellent. All right, I'm looking forward to your next games. Let me know how it goes. I'll talk to you later, all right?
Okay, sure. Have a good one.
Thanks.
I'll be going to bed now just to ease your consciousness.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night. We'll be watching the rest on YouTube.
All right, we got 4 more replays. Odoaker, Night, and is it ice cream? Marto? Marto is the other submission. So do we have any of you guys in chat here? Knight, are you here? I'm here. Oh, nice. Okay, do you want to join Discord? Or do you want to just hang out in chat? I don't think I can Discord. Okay, no problem. I'll just try to keep looking at chat while we go over this. All right, so we've got a replay here from Night. And the description here. 1.6k MMR for this game. A very close game with standard start, which I did horribly. I transitioned into asymmetrical aggro mid-game onwards. Advice on my standard would be appreciated, along with any other mistakes spotted. Appreciate any help I can get. Okay, great. So we will focus a bit more on standard, which is good. Last game we were more aggro. This game we're going to be more standard. So Knight on the bottom in the blue. We got Giant Spec as well. Giant Spec with Sledge Marksman. This is a pretty solid standard pack. Going standard is not my fave and not my strongest either. Okay. This position is fine. Well, you got, what's that, 2? It looks almost like it's 3. Anyways, so one thing to note about this position. So yes, you have the guys back here, and they're going to separate a bit while they go over the tower. That can be good. However, it is susceptible to being pulled on the flanks. So often these days we actually see, instead of putting the fangs right here, we put them a couple squares over. And that way they won't get pulled. When you're playing against a Saber pack, you kind of know it's going to be aggro. Saber's not really ever played in standard. So in that case, knowing that you're going to play against aggro, you know that more likely there's going to be flanks. So maybe the positioning of that should be a couple tiles over. If it was standard versus standard, then it's totally fine because you're probably not going to get flanked. Just one small note about that fang position. But it's not too big of a deal. All right, hang on. Shield airdrop here is, yep, the best card for sure. It does kind of suck a bit going to Saber with it, though, because the Saber does kill it fairly quickly. It's really strong against you, though. You know your opponent's going to pick this because you do not have any good single target damage. Okay, I see you're also selling out of your buildings. In standard, I personally don't sell out of the buildings in standard. I think it's good to keep them on the board because it, yeah, I mean, you get 100 for it, but is it really even useful? Having it on the board will tank a shot. So if this was here, then maybe, you know, I don't know, it could help. Okay, we do have the Stormcallers here, and the slowdown is great. This is actually really bad positioning from your opponent going into that magnetic magnetic fence thing. So you should be able to take advantage of this, and the Stormcaller is a good way to do that, so that's a good move. I like that. You're also safe against air with the Marksman and Fang, so you don't need to be afraid of air to get some air defense in round 2. So Stormcaller is great. And looks like you will keep this bubble alive, so that's good. Alright, now some important choices are happening here. Improved firepower. That's a good one. I definitely prefer that in round 3 over something like Orbital. And round 3 as Giant Spec, now you're going into Giant. That's great. However, you haven't left an opening for your Giant here. So that's something you need to remember as well. When you're Giant Spec or whatever in Standard, this Fang could probably be vertical instead here. And you can leave 4 tiles or 6 tiles if you want to put that Stormy. But you can also put the Storm like on the left or on the right. But now you have to sell it, which kind of sucks. Hey, Grucha, Mechabellum fans, how's it going? Not shielding this is fine. Opponents spend a lot on this. It's okay. So the Vulcan choice here, yeah, with improved firepower. Your goal here now is to protect the Vulcan. And it's kind of tricky to do against these Sabers. The Sabers are good into Giants, so... How can you protect the Vulcan? We can get more Fangs, more things in front. We can get even sledges in front, vertical. But eventually you want to get Fang portable shield, which does the best for that. You can also get oil. Hang on here. Radiant Tarantula, Wraith, and Void Eye. So Wraith, you don't really want in Standard here, unless maybe you want to go for Land Cruiser. But we're already solving the Chaff Clear problem with the Vulcan, so that wouldn't make sense. So yeah, no, that's a no. 3 squads of level 2 Void Eye seems really strong here. Actually, it looks like you went for the Tarantula Cell into the Melter. So yeah, Vulcan Melter, classic comp for Standard. But the problem is, like, there's 3 Sabers. We have range and we have double shot available. Sabers will also kill the Melter with that. So, you know, they counter both of these units. You've already got the Marksman. So maybe it's just Vulcan Marksman is what you want, and maybe not Vulcan Melter. Unlocking the Melter is good because it prevents your opponent from getting it. I don't know about buying it. I maybe would have, if it was me, I would have gone for the 3 level 2 Void Eyes. That 3 deploys, it's quite a lot. And thrown them down, you know, here, gotten range and gotten charge shot on them eventually. Because that's going to be what kills these Saber Teeth. I'm not sure about this. And then you don't need to be afraid of the the Raiden, because you do have the Marksman. You have anti-air, I hope. Yep. And yeah, now you've immediately teched the Melter. Because you have to, because you're trying to stay alive against these Saber Teeth. At 150, can we get an oil? Or a mass recruit, another Fang? I'm not sure what this is for. Okay. Too many techs is round 4. You got a tech on a Vulcan, a tech on a Melter. I think keeping that sledge is fine. I don't know what this guy accomplishes here. You're worried about a flank maybe, but you should be safe against pretty much anything. You still have a turret here as well. So if it was, for example, crawlers, there's only going to be a couple crawlers left. They're not going to kill this tower in time before the cannon shoots them. If you're afraid, I mean, you can just level up the tower and you'll be fine. You don't need the missile there, I don't think. And Scorching Fire also... You've already got the improved firepower on here. I don't think you need a Scorch. Your problem is you need to stay away from these saber teeth. Range would have been probably better here. Because watch, I think this guy's just going to get clapped right away. Yeah. There's no units in front, so it can't stay safe. It doesn't have enough range. Yeah, this is looking a little rough here now. What's good against Raiden too is the Fangs having portable shield. So if we had more Fangs, then maybe... Yeah, we don't have a lot of chaff here. It's only round 5, I guess. Oh, you didn't sell that tarantula. It's up here. Oh my god, I missed that. I would have just sold that instead of the sledge. Heavy armor. This is a tough spot. Opponent should have definitely chosen the super supply. You do have a bubble come up. That's good. We just don't have enough stuff in the way here. Okay. This guy's level 1. This tower. And you have Stormcallers unlocked. This is a play you can do. You can just put a Stormcaller here and kill that tower. Oh, there's a Chungus here, though. I guess it wouldn't shoot it. Never mind. I mean, you are recognizing, though, that maybe how you win on the left is actually winning on the right. I don't know what this beacon is. You're just trying to move your Vulcan over so it doesn't die to the level 2 saber? This guy's still here. I mean, this Vulcan does do a bit of damage. Now it's exposed. So Melter also into Raiden doesn't always feel good. I know you chose this earlier, so that's fine. Oh my god, you're down to 1 HP? Okay. Laser sight is offered. Okay, you do go for the laser sight. Where'd the laser go? Oh, we still got it here. That'd be good on this Melter. Yes, okay. So let's look at the chaff here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crawlers for your opponent. 2, 3, 4. We got 5 fangs and 1 crawler. I guess you got 1 crawler over here too. That's an interesting beacon. But still, we have some crawlers coming up now. Admittedly, this guy is pulling a lot of the crawlers. You get that tower. Okay. Are you turning this around? No, we eventually need to get aerial mode. Yeah, that guy gets popped. Because the worry here is if EMP is chosen, your melters lose range, and then you lose the fight against the Raiden. Okay, but you're finding some damage here finally. Void Eyes are offered again. Typhoon? Okay. Yeah, like you said, you're moving into an aggro game here. I don't know. I'm not sure about these Typhoons, man, because you're solving the chocolate problem with the Vulcan. The Typhoons are going to die to the Sabers and the Raiden, like, very easily. So I think it does nothing for you. I mean, of these, I'd still be looking at the Void Eye, I think. Or potentially the Fire Badgers if you wanted to do something weird, but you've already got something weird in the corner here with that Tarantula. Just Badger Charge on the line. Yeah, 100%. That's a great move too. Thank you, Odyssey. There's EMP pick now, though. So, it wouldn't really work either. Oh, we get good locks here on the Sabers. That's great. And we do finally have range on the Vulcan. Raiden's OP. Wow, you're actually coming back from this with 1 HP? It's kind of mental. The bubble helps a lot here, keeping the Raidens from getting EMP'd as well. No arrow yet. Wow. Photon? Boom Badgers def makes sense in hindsight. Not able to be super active at work at the moment. Okay, no problem. You can watch this back later. That's fine. The Boom Badgers would technically work because you'd get Photon this round. But yeah, I guess against the Raiden, you wouldn't put them right against the wall. You'd put them 2 back. You could go Badger, and then Crawler or Fang, and then Badger. Crawler Fang or whatever. That way they don't get missiled, and they also don't... I mean, it doesn't matter if they get missiled, I guess. It's just more so they don't get EMP'd and killed immediately by the Raiden. You are keeping up on the melter levels, which I think is good. The melters in this case are your win condition, so everything you want to do is to protect these melters. I see you have the Farseer here with Photon. It's going to help against this EMP. I like it. This cheeky little flank here, also great move. And you did bubble the storm. This tower is still level 1. So you're going to end up winning this game, I think. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, so first of all, that's a friggin' amazing comeback with 1 HP. So nice job finding that win here. But I think, yeah, you're not comfortable with standard, so then you end up going for this aggro. It ended up being the right move, but that's only because, I don't know, you were kind of making a few too many mistakes here that you were forced to do something else. So let's go back to round 4 here. This is the Tarantula round. Is this where you take like the text and stuff? Yeah. I'm gonna redo this round. And try with the Void Eye here, because I think that was actually the move. Get some void eyes, range on the void eye. And I guess we'll sell that. We don't even need to sell that actually, but we're trying to just kind of load up our chaff here. Like this guy is really awkward here. Because like if this was like this, then you can actually do like 2 in front. But we've got him like horizontally this way, which is a bit awkward. But I don't know, maybe we can do like this or something. Take that oil and take tack. So now we're protecting our Vulcan. Maybe the oil was not necessary. But we're in a much better spot. Wow, we might not win the round. No, but it was a lot better. The other option would be range here. So if you wanted to go into whatchamacallit, these guys. You can still do that with the cell. I'm not sure about this. I'm just trying this. This one horizontal thing is really throwing me off my game here. Yeah. The Void Eye is a bit better here. Why do we not want to just go into Raiden here? I don't know. I mean, I guess he could. I don't even really know where to put these guys, though. Even without knowing he does, he has a Phoenix and should scale better with Vulcan Chaff Clear versus Arc Clear. Yeah, that's true. There's arcs. You could actually even sell this and get range. That's true. The opponent has like really bad chaff clear, but it didn't matter because he didn't really have a lot of chaff. But with your only chaff clear being that one Vulcan and it dying and getting locked on that saber tooth, doesn't work either. So the best case there was Void Eyes. Like I said. It's the same. Yeah, you definitely need another Vulcan on the left. What does do better that round, but questionable if that scales better. I mean, nothing scales better than the Raiden, I guess, but... The Void Eye has, like, charge shot, and we have 3 sabers. If we clear the ground faster, we also already have 3 marksmen. Aw, scammed! But like, I don't know, this still feels fine, because we'd have 1 level 2 and... No, wait, like 1 level 3 and 2 level 2 marksmen. They're all level... No, sorry, 3 level 2 marksmen with AA next round. Also have a better portable shield. I don't know. Either option would be good. Hey, Solidware, how's it going? Anyways, I think this was basically the turn where things went wrong, though, in the original game, which then ended up being the pivot onto the right side. So what we see is, like, the opponent doesn't have a lot of chaff. We've gone in around 3 Vulcan. I mean, sure, that's kind of what people do with Giant Spec. But you're also going into 3 sabers. Maybe Vulcan wasn't the best choice, but it's fine. You can play it, but you do have to protect it. And how to protect it? You need more chaff. The only chaff clear here is 2 arc lights. If you end up just building more chaff and supporting your Vulcan, your like giants, then that'll end up doing better for you in the long run as playing standard. And then in this case, like I said, yeah, portable shield, you can build, you know, crawlers or whatever, different like waves of chaff. Most of the chaff here now that I've placed is kind of in the front, but as the game goes on, you're going to put more chaff in the back. So if you have even a Fang here in the late round, eventually that Fang ends up here in front of the Vulcan and protecting you from the Raiden. All right, cool. Hopefully that was good enough. Let's jump into another replay. We've got 2 more. Marto versus Ice Cream. So this game is Marto. This is at 1400 MMR. He says, or they say, I was winning until the last 2 rounds where I got hard countered via Incendiary Bomb Vulcan. I tried replaying it, but could not figure out a way to win. Any ideas what I could have done better? How to best counter the Incendiary Vulcan? I'm looking for ideas. All right, we'll have a look at that. This is similar to the first replay we watched, right? We had an aggro position, and then we had Incendiary Vulcan come out. I guess Incendiary Vulcans are really strong at this MMR. Wait, why is the HP down like this? We've taken damage or something. That's weird. Like I said, this is 1400 MMR. So we're going to try and give tips for 1400. And we are actually watching from the perspective of Marto on the top. So Marto is giant spec. We have Crawler Mustang. And then picks up a couple of Void Eyes. As giant spec, I expect to see, I don't know what, Vulcan and shenanigans here. Protecting the Mustang. Yeah, let's see. I'm starting to see anti-interference module as my cue to force multi-melter. Wait, what? I'm starting to see anti-interference module as my cue to force multi-melter. You want the multi-melter to have anti-interference so you cannot get EMP'd or hacked or anything, and it's the best unit in the game. That's mean. See, when I see interference module, I actually think Rhino with all the techs. It's a slept-on card. Always take it at least one, especially Crossfire. Yeah, it is really good. Okay, so Maro gets round 1. We've got redeploy offered. Extended range arc light. Mass Sledge is actually really good too. Marto goes for extend arc light. I think totally fine. The only thing is your giant spec. It's fine, but usually giant spec tries to do Vulcan or something. You don't have to. Both players go for arc light. I think all these cards were playable, pretty much. Even in this. Okay, so what techs we got? Sledge. We've got armor. And then we've got kind of like... Oh, I would say carry tech, but there's no mech rage. So I think I'd be worried about here is armor. Fang pack pick, please. 3 fangs. 3 fangs is a whole turn of deploys. It only cost you 50 bucks. Look how much you get. Hounds? No, you don't need hounds. You've chosen your chaff clear as your arc light. Okay? You should stick with it. Don't diversify too much. You're going to have a kitchen sink of different units here. The only case maybe would be to get them if you had fire on them because you wanted to go into War Factory or something. But in this case, you just got a whole bunch of death ball syndrome here. It might end up working out, but I don't think it's going to scale well for you. You see your opponent has 4 arc lights now, has range. You don't have range. The arc lights are going to deal with basically everything. Except for the range on your Void Eyes, which is good. So you went for Void Eye range first. Yeah, I definitely would have picked those fangs though. Hey Fabled, how's it going? Orc builds idea from Solidware. Kitchen sink, you may only deploy a maximum of 3 of each card. That's already a thing. Skip here makes sense. None of this you need just now. It's too early. Well, no, you know what? Screw that. You should have gotten Barrier. You should definitely have gotten Barrier. You're giant spec. This is a great card. You get a Vulcan with Barrier is so good. You can just plop that in front of Barrier. That's why I'm unsure about the arc light range, right? As Giant Spec, you really want to have the Vulcan as your chaff clear, I think. Oh, now we've got Hound with chamber compression. Yeah. Opponent now, see, like their board is looking much better. They've actually got a bit of a game plan here, right? They've got all the arc lights. They've got extended range arc light 2. They got range on arc lights. What do we got? We don't have any range on our chaff clear units yet. It's round 4. No range on chaff clear is a mistake. So all your stuff is... Whoa, 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 whoa. Charge shot. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know about this. That might be a bit of an out for you. I don't know, because there's nothing that really requires charge shot here. Maybe if you forgot he was Giant Spec, that happens to be 75% of the time I play Giant or Air Spec. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, if you're asking for help on a replay, that should be... I mean, I'm gonna have to point that out. So this was not so good here. Shield airdrop, probably the best choice here. Smoke bomb could be good, okay. But if you took shield airdrop, then you don't need to spend it on these bubbles. Smoke is like risky, right? It can work, but you're basically saying that your opponent is going to be too greedy to not pick them. It's kind of a move that you do against opponents that you know how they play. I personally would go for the safe move, which is the shield airdrop, because that also protects against Ion a bit too. This one card protects against these 2 cards. Hello, are we allowed to say penis in here? I'm gonna get demonetized. Say whatever you want. Usually realize my Giant Air Spec at like round 5 or 6. Maybe I go in with a game plan I would remember. You guys gotta have a game plan from round 1, okay? So, do we have range on any? No, we don't have. So there's been a couple turns now. The opponent got range Arclight on round 3. It is now round 5, and we don't have range on our Arclight to match them. We don't have any range chaff clear either. Mustang don't have range. The only thing with range is Void Eye. So we're just going to walk into our death here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 Arclights with range charge shot. Now with the smoke too. I mean, your smoke works, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. They've moved forward a few feet from here, but you're not exactly charging in on them either. The Void Eye techs are good, but I don't think you needed a range on the round you took range. You could have taken a suppression shot if that's what you wanted. This is a much cheaper tech you can get first, and then it doesn't delay your chaff clear range. Is this a chat replay? Yes, this is 1400. We're offering gameplay advice. If you've got replays we can look at, you can submit them in the Discord. There is a Discord channel. I will plug it in 1 second. And 690, I don't need my replays watched because I'm the best. Fair enough. Anyways, there's the Discord anyway. Okay, so now we've got round 6 here. What did we do? There was unit drops We got what, the Stormcaller? Okay. Stormcaller here is good. Stormcaller here is good. Do we have ranged on Chaff Clear yet? No, we don't have any Chaff Clear. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs of chaff for our opponent. No Chaff Clear. The arc lights, we've got 2 of them. They have extended range. They don't have range. And we just go into hounds here with chamber compression. Like, I don't know how this is going to work. Looks like it is working somehow. Look at this Farseer, he's just driving in. I guess the Stormcallers finally offered a little bit of chocolate. Like, this guy's got gold, almost 27,000 damage. So you are gonna get this round win. That's great. Now, how can you keep this up? We need chaff clear. Your chaff looks good. Your board has got a lot of stuff on it. That's great. It's too late for super supply. It's round 7. Missile strike could be an option. Photon, maybe even, or I don't know. Do people pick improved melter? In standard v standard, it's my least familiar thing. The extra 10 range, I think, might matter in standard v standard. Yeah, actually, your giant spec. Maybe this should have been the choice. Improved melter. You haven't used your spec at all whatsoever. Okay, now we got range on hounds. So again, I don't really understand this, right? You had 2 arc lights from early on. You got extended range arc light. That's a fantastic card. And then you refuse to build more arc lights, and you refuse to take range on them. And now we've got hounds. You got 3 hounds from a drop on a turn that you could have had something else. I think it was, what, fangs? You could have built fangs in front, like how you've already done here. So you would have had 3 deploys from that. And now hound is the chaff clear of choice. But you're up against Arclight here. They've got EMP as well. Hound is not... I don't know. It's a matchup that relies on levels. And the Arclights have farther range and levels. So I don't know how the hounds are going to work out. Maybe your Mustangs are doing a little bit of chaff clearing now. And the problem is your opponent chose charge shot, and that's why they're losing. Increased attack interval really slows them down, and you've got a lot of stuff. So that was a mistake out of your opponent that you are capitalizing on by building more stuff. So that's all right. Here's that Vulcan turn that we've been warned about. They need Shockwave. Yeah. Unironically, it would have helped a lot. Like, Shockwave against this board is, like, probably actually good. So we got for Wasp here. So you've built a whole bunch of light units, basically. Just a swarm of light units. Your opponent is having problems clearing all those units with their arc lights because they've chosen charge shot. So what can they do? They can choose Vulcan themselves, get some chaff clear. Maybe Typhoon, but Typhoon not so great in a standard matchup. So you could kind of almost expect the Vulcan here. Ice, was there a underground I saw? That would have been good to have. We're very soft to Vulcan here, I think. Spooky. Yeah, Vulcans totally wreck us. Okay, underground, good. What are the upgrades here? Upgrades are pretty good. And now with bubble, like, let's look at this. What is our damage here? Do we have high damage units? The Stormcaller, maybe? But it hasn't really been performing too well. The Arclight, or sorry, not Arclight, Void Eye. That's our damage here, right? And we do have Charge Shot. That is an option. So our damage carry is our Void Eye. All right. What about Chaff Clear? There's a lot of packs of Chaff. Again, I mean, I guess this is the Hound. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Hounds, it looks like. And then, yeah, this turn we picked Wasp and immediately ranged them. I don't like the idea of teching the Wasp right away because you don't know what your opponent has done this round. And they're also really easy to counter with just like throwing down the Mustangs. But also, they've already built a lot of Fangs. They've also got the Farseer. These Wasps are not going to be too effective. It's fine to have them as air chaff. So keeping the 2 or 3 packs or whatever it was, 3 packs. Don't tech them. Don't level them up. Just use them as air chaff. It'll also help you from like marksman or whatever. But the thing is also like you're not really, you don't need air chaff because you don't have any air units that you're trying to protect. Right? If you had Raiden or boats, then the Wasps make more sense because they can tank shots from the marksman, for example, or the Farseer, but you don't have that. So Wasp, I don't think Wasp was the answer here. Typhoon, not in standard unless you want to start to try to pull things on the corners. But it looks like the corners are fine. Remember, there's charge shot here, so those would die pretty quickly. Vulcan, I mean, like, Vulcan should have been the choice here. Your giant spec. You should have had Vulcan earlier. Otherwise, if you really, for some reason, didn't want Giant as Giant spec, Rhino, 3 level 3s. The damage on this board is the charge shot on the Arclight, so it's pretty low damage board. If we look at level 3 Arclight, it does, 3,000 damage a shot. If you picked up the Rhinos and clicked armor, these are not going to, well, actually, you don't even need armor. But I mean, you could take armor for the HP, 50% HP. You'd also click this guy here. And like your Rhinos aren't going to die really, probably. So I would have leaned on one of these 2 options. But here, let's see what happens. Here comes that incendiary. And we have a full board of light units. That's just going to get completely melted here. Do Wasps scam the round? Maybe too many Fangs? Yeah. The other thing an opponent can do also is just click range next turn. They don't even have to build Marks or Mustang. They can literally just click range. Too many big stuff living as well. So that's a ton of damage. You're gonna live, I think, for another round. So let's see what your answer was to this. How you try to solve this. EMP's offered. That's probably the best choice. Yep, great. Problem here with Hound is you've already teched it twice, and now you want to click Fire Extinguisher, probably. Oh, I see you've got some interceptors to try to intercept these incendiaries. One thing you can also do is put a crawler here. Why can't I select? Here. and here. And that'll get these 2 incendiaries onto the right and the left, and you only have to deal with the one. And you just have like a couple interceptors here. I think the interceptors are also too far back. What else we got here? Oh, we got an interceptor on the Mustang. Okay. And we're just trying to intercept it all. Let's see what happens here. More Vulcan. Oil goes down, oil gets lit. Yeah, this wasn't shooting until the missiles were like almost in the face here, so they still managed to land on the ground. And it looks like there's too many giants, too much stuff. Were Vulcans a drop? Yeah. Well, this is the second turn of the drop. It wasn't all on one turn. Right here, okay, so people have a problem with this, so we're gonna solve this, okay guys? So don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Alright, so let's go back to round 8. This is the Vulcan drop turn. Alright, so first we're gonna play this round over as Marto. So Marto chose the Wasp. I would say, let's not do the Wasp. Let's, you could even click Rhino. I'm just going to do this as an example here. Like armor. Well, we have combat involvement too. That's cool. Because it's round 9, you want to start doing all of your abilities here. Blown and then take range. And you can take high mobility if you're the aggressor, or not if you're not. And then I honestly don't even know, because we've got so many problems right now. We don't have sufficient chaff clear. We don't have sufficient damage either. We could level these guys up, get charge shot, and
Idjit, I just followed.
Thank you for the follow. For chaff clear, I guess because we've already got range on the Hound, I guess we go into the Hound here.
We reached our followers' goal of 210. Thank you, everyone.
I really don't know. This is probably not going to do that much here. What's our text? These arc lights are doing literally nothing. So this is the turn when the Vulcans come down, double tech, 3 of them. We're probably losing this round. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, scratch that Rhino thing. That's me being silly. So that we were a giant spec this whole time. We don't have a giant on the board. We don't have sufficient chaff clear. I guess, I don't know, what are you worried about? EMP charge shot? I don't know. Also, like, they have barrier. You never took barrier. This is really difficult. I guess there's the EMP and the arc lights, eh? This is so awkward. We've got this bubble here. But this should, I don't know, help our chaff clear maybe. I mean, there's also all this fire. I don't know. We could have blocked Vulcan early if we took it with the spec. Yes. Okay, well, so in this case, if we look at this, we have a board here was having problems with us because we have so much random stuff. The Vulcan seems like the obvious play. Like, we're probably going to get Vulcaned. So if you know you're going to get Vulcaned, you know, maybe the Wasp isn't the worst thing. I don't know. It's just have so many problems here. So one thing you can do, obviously, is you can take this guy, and as I said before, you can put some guys on the sides to tank those. We have a lot of Void Eyes, actually. Maybe that's what we do. We get off the ground. So we have these guys on the side. They're going to take some of those shots. We're also in the air with the Void Eyes, and then we have the air chaff now actually doing something, protecting our Void Eyes maybe. Basically, we're completely vulnerable to fire, so let's get out of the way of fire. Yeah, okay. Pushing the aerial button was the answer there. That's kind of difficult. Okay, but let's say we don't click that button, right? Oh no! Oh no, Vulcans! We weren't expecting it. Let's try from the final round, see if there's any way to also salvage it from that round. Actually, this is going to be pretty similar to what I just did, right? We put some guys on the side. It'd probably be the same thing, aerial mode and whatever. And then having maybe some of these guys are too far back. They need to be a little bit farther forward. And then bubbles. But can we do round... What round do we want here? Round 3? What was the round where the hounds came? This round, okay. So this was also a big mistake turn. So of these, you want the fangs. That's 3 deploys of stuff. You're playing in standard. You're also giant spec. I mean, actually, you don't even need to sell that. You just kind of like throw these down wherever. It doesn't matter too much, but leave a spot for 4 here because we want to immediately go into giant or what the hell is it? Vulcan. Right? Cool. This guy actually... You can just kind of put him... Something like that. I don't know. We have this guy just in case there's air stuff. Sometimes you want to put it here if you don't want to get flanked. But we can put him here because we do actually want him to help over here if we do get flanked. And then we've got... So, I mean, we're also kind of a bit weird here because we did choose the extended range arc light and picked up these arc lights. But, like, we're not going for arc lights now, right? This is Vulcan time. And to complement the damage here, we can get some Void Eye action, and then, like, I don't know, +1. So it's looking a bit scarier, right? See how it works out, because we still don't have range yet. We couldn't afford range, but next turn, getting range is going to be awesome. You know, I didn't want a +1. I wanted plus Void Eye, whatever. Suppression shot. I don't know, something like this. You can maybe keep the arcs for backup chaff clear, maybe the EMP in the distant future.
Numero 1 just followed.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow. But I still feel like even if you lose this turn as Giant Spec, like that's totally fine. You don't have to win every turn, but this does set you up better. You can get range next here. Because you're actually killing chaff. Oh, the big Chungus. Yeah. It's weird to have the extended range arc light card only getting 2 arc lights. We could even, if we try this again, I could still take, instead of going Vulcan, we can get range on the arcs instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you still want to kind of leave some space here. Actually, you could even, yeah, click range. We can even sell this and build like 3 of them. Like this is also kind of scary looking, right? Like look at this. Sometimes I like to flip the camera around to see what the opponent sees.
Redeemed balked build. What does this do? Can I make you play Shockwave or Hackers or both?
You can recommend a borked build. That's what that's for. You want to play Hacker borked build? You know what tech is not seen on Hacker often is multi-hack. That could maybe be a borked play. Yeah, so in this case, I mean, we're still losing again. The Vulcan was better, it looked like, even. Because the opponent still has these marksmen. So all we're doing right now is we're matching our opponent. Opponent is supply spec, so they get a little bit more money each turn. Might be able to get... I mean, the Void Eye is better than the Marksman, in my opinion. If you can get, like, range or whatever on that later. Like maybe it scales a bit better. Also helps against the sledges. But as giant spec, I mean, you got to use your specialist. I like the spider stay in front of multi-hackers. The ranges work out nice. I've seen a 4-tech multi-hack the other day. It was around 2,000 MMR as well for the first time. Oh my god, do you have that replay? And one hacked a whole hound board. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, thanks for the replay, Marto. I hope you learned a few things. We've got one more Odoaker. Where are we here? Odoaker says, hey guys, need help with the end game. It seems to be common here. I think I'm usually doing well until turn 5, 6, then suddenly I can't make anything work anymore. This game is a good example. In hindsight, I should have ditched the worms and overlords and gone for the flamer play earlier. In the replay, I was able to win by doing so on turn 7. This is a pattern for me. Around turn 7, I generally attempt to mass overlord and then it fails and I just lose. Any tips to identify endgame alternatives? For reference, my MMR is 1100. All right, let's have a look. Odoaker speed spec. So in the top here, against cost control. Speed Tarantula Marksman is a bit unhinged, but we'll let him cook. I think Speed Tarantula is good. It's just awkward because of the Marksman a bit. One Bork build would be to quad tech a unit before you can do any other techs. No, that's horrible, guys. A better Bork build would be like get all the techs on War Factory or Titan unit. Make sure you get 6 techs by the end of the game. Okay, so you win round 1. Great. As you say, you feel pretty good until rounds 5, 6, 7. So we'll try to pay attention for that. It may be a scaling issue where you're doing too much, or sorry, not thinking about the late game enough. Smart Marksman seems like really good for you. You've already got 3 Marksmen. Okay, great. Good. Good. We'll speed this up a bit. So going against the ball is probably the only thing that you're worried about on this board. The ball locks onto the Tarantula. Interesting text here. I say interesting because, this can work, I suppose. The current meta is Mech Rage on Tarantula.
Dower 208 just redeemed balked build.
Quad tech before any other tech. God damn it. Okay. All right, I'll add it to my list. What we used to do, we used to vote on them. I'll add it to things that we vote. Okay? You guys can vote on it. It's you guys doing this, so I don't care. Democracy. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you got some locks on these tarantulas from the marksman, so that kind of sucks. But your crawler timing is really good against these steel balls, so kudos for that. You still win the round, and you get levels on these marksmen. Heavy armor could be good. Efficient giant if you want to do that. Why? Wasp swarm? Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. So here's one thing that the Wasp Swarm does. I feel like this is a card, when you see it, automatically it makes you start thinking about, hey, where can I get damage in? These 2 towers are still level 1. So you're going to put it here. But this is also a turn that your opponent is going to try to defend against Wasp Swarm. What if, instead of waiting for Wasp Swarm to see which tower is open and to find an attack avenue, you do it every round? This is level 1. Build a spider over here. Spider and like marksman and crawler in this corner over here. Put pressure over here. Force your opponent not to build fully asymmetrical defensive. You can totally do that. Where's this spider going? Okay, I do like this though. I like this. This is actually really great because it pulls these Mustangs over. It pulls everything to the right. Nice with a sledge too. You got it. I would just move this guy down one more. 3 or 4 squares is good. 3 fits a rhino. 4 is the max you can do. At 5 squares, a missile here will hit these sledges. So you want to have it 3 or 4 tiles from the back. But you do pull all this stuff, and now they're going in for the tower. I think you're going to get it because of that sledge. Nice job. Good find. Great find. It's a very good pull. Also a good turn to get range on your tarantula. This is fantastic. This is what I tell you guys. Turn 3, get range on your chaff clear. If you can do that every game, you're gonna win most of your games. If for some reason you cannot get it on round 3, you must get it on round 4. No questions. Cannot postpone it any more than that. All right, so here we go. Here is the choice here. Speed spec with worm. It's good. It's good. The other choices here were Saber Storm and Wasp. It can feel bad to pick Sandworm if they're going to pick Saber. And you're in a board that is asking for Saber. So getting Sandworm with Tarantulas is maybe not what you want to do because they both get countered by the same thing. They also both get countered by Fortress. Fortress Launcher Overload range. So the worm choice maybe is not the best here because of that. There are a lot of Mustangs, so you don't want Wasp. The Storm Callers could be good here. Things are clumped in one spot here. The other thing you can do, if you pick the Stormcaller and you, like, let's say you don't want any of these units, right? You can pick the Stormcaller, you sell one of them, you put the other one here, and it's going to shoot at the tower, the level 1 tower, you'll get an immediate tower debuff. So I actually think that this was the wrong unit choice, and that may be why you have difficulty later. That being said, okay, you've chosen it, so let's ignore the rest of what I said now. This is a good position for a worm in the middle here when you're on offense like this. But you need to have a beacon with it too, because now it's just going wherever it wants. You could beacon it to the left, you could beacon it to the right. That's why putting it in the middle is so strong, because of the beacon potential. But there's no beacon this turn. But I'm already kind of seeing what I think is going to happen is you're going to get outscaled by these fortresses. This is 800 MMR? No, he's 1100 MMR. 1100, guys. Great. So that's a really great EMP. What else we got here? Nothing else really good. You could try for that Wasp Swarm again, but that's, you know, that's risky. But your opponent now, like, look at this. We're seeing 100% of the units being put in this little box here. So that's why this pull is so effective. But here we go. Now we can put some pressure on the other side. Great, you got that beacon now. No tech on Sandworm, that's fine. I wouldn't tech the Sandworm. I wouldn't make more Sandworm because now we have seen Fortress. The Fortress will outscale the Sandworm. I don't know about that beacon. We're beaconing towards the cannon and then the tower. You might end up pulling some of these fortresses. I like the first beacon better. Just right to it. This is still level 1. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing. Range on marksman, kind of unnecessary as well. We're in a bit of like a headbutt, so you don't really need the range. Like, look how much overlap there is. It doesn't really help. Like, you don't have enough damage here. And $300 for this doesn't help the damage. Okay, worms coming in. Can't we get the tower? This is another reason why having mech rage on Tarantula is really good. Because it lets them kind of fight with the fortresses a bit better. Are we short on chaff clear here? I'll find out in a second here. The chaff clear looks good though. Tarantula looks good. And the crawlers have been doing well too. I think it's looking good. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 crawlers. So no. 2, 3. I mean, chaff on both sides is quite bad. We do have a 5th crawler here, so this is like kind of working. But now, yeah, if these guys click range, there's nothing protecting the tarantula, so we do need to have something in front here. Most of the time, like, this is good. You have a crawler behind. You can put a crawler behind each of these guys. That's great, and then one in front. Let's see what we do here. His left spire is targeted by storms instantly every round. Yeah, that's true too. The same thing I'm saying with the range here, yeah. That's probably why it's not getting levels. And now we've got Overlord. Yeah. So that's 200 to unlock. We've already got our giant chosen here, though. I think in this case, well, I don't know. You do need more damage. The Overlord does give you more damage to deal with these fortresses. There is no AA on them. The only AA is the Mustang. You've only got to do 300 damage. Like, I get it. I get it. It could work. Well, what is this beacon? Oh. Just beacon both the worms. Don't get fancy. You don't need to get fancy. No fanciness until you're like 2000 MMR, okay? Just solid play. Should have got both worms there. And this is kind of like fanciness too, right? With the Overlord. It's a bit of a gamble. Gamble. Yeah, this guy's locked on. Now the worms are dying. They're not surviving. They do get outscaled by these fortresses. Fortress is now also shooting his tarantula. Oh god, and we got marksman back here too. So that Overlord doesn't stand a chance. Yeah. So your composition now is hit the wall. You basically had a limit to what you could do because all your units were countered by the one unit here. So once they have enough of it, and you also don't have enough single target damage to clear the barriers. So you got two kind of big problems. Now it's going to be really hard to ever come back from that. So you've hit the wall here. At this point, you got to kind of find like a cheese or something to do it. Fort and Mustang, this is getting really crazy. The only way to deal with this now would be Abyss. These worms should be sold. Void Eyes at level 3 could be alright. Do we have like ranged charge shot maybe? Charge shot range, yeah. But we're going for these overlords. You're only against... Oh, man. I was going to say you're only against the marksman, but there's so many Mustangs, there's so many marksmen. So even Mothership isn't going to help. Yeah, you're just going to slowly bleed out here. Alright. So... is there anything else you can do here? There is mobilized battleship. This guy's still level 1. The towers are still level 1. Ooh, mountain extended range. Yeah, you're super dead here. You have sold this sandworm, but it's a bit too late. Flank is covered by this fortress. You do have levels on the tower, so kudos for that. You kind of protect against this overlord. But... Alright. Alright, let's go back. Could use some more carry focus. Yep. So this was the boat turn. Let's take over. So this turn... none of these are really good for anything, so we skip. Our worms are gonna get outscaled. We'll probably sell out of them. We need damage. We need something to be able to deal with this. We see Mustangs here as well, and also shields that we need to be able to pop. I feel like if you want to end the game, your opponent had like 300 something HP or something. We just kind of maybe go like this. Good vertical sweep. Usually you want like Dark Companion or something. Or nothing. If you're trying to win too, make sure you take the loan. And we'll just make some more chaff here. So does a lot of damage clearing those bubbles. As long as you're matching the level with the Abyss, I think it's good. If these were level 2 fortresses, then we'd be wanting to get a level 2 Abyss. But we can get away with a level 1 this time. And that Dark Companion tanks some shots for us. Now it's, yeah, easy peasy. So we've got 1400 damage just about, and they only had 300 HP. So if you needed to kill against the fortress, we identified the problem is all of our units are being countered by the fortress. We don't have enough damage to beat the shield. And then even after we do, there's starting to be a lot of Mustangs. So eventually we might want Swarm Missile even. This he probably didn't even need to take, to be honest. He could have even just went right for Swarm Missile. But this is kind of like safe against these marksmen, which might get a lock quickly. So it does keep our Abyss alive. Another cool play you can do also is wreckage recycling. I tried to do like a level 2 in wreckage recycling, and then it'll never die. If you only need to do, you know, less than, what is it, 500 damage or whatever it does, it's never going to die to this. So wreckage recycling is a good way to win as well. Is there any other options that we can do maybe? I don't know. Well, let's look at the round where we got the worm, because I think that was also another mistake. I don't think we wanted the sandworm here. So let's take over. So in this case, still, we have a DPS problem. Saber could be option, but there's a lot of crap on the ground. The other option I said in the game was the Stormcaller. So we could even sell one of them. We can put one of them here. Just to make sure we get that tower. Make sure we take levels on all of our things. We can get some crawlers like this. And then we can even build out this side here. If we want to be super safe, if you want to prepare against air possibility, you can put a missile like that. So what that means is this tarantula will clear ground stuff, but if there's air stuff, it'll fly into the missile and die. So you can do the same over here. You just barely touch the edge. You see, like on this side here, barely touch the edge, and then you barely touch the tower, because you don't want like crawlers to run in here and get that either. Then we'll just take our upgrades, and I mean that should be completely fine. We can even save the 50 bucks. I don't think we need it. Here we go. Here's going to be another good round. We're tanking now all this stuff with that first wave of crawlers. Now these next waves are coming in. Now our third wave of crawlers is coming in. And now our fourth wave of crawlers is coming in. And we are just shooting away. It is a shooting gallery on these units. The fortresses have done literally nothing. They've done actually nothing. So a huge turn there. And then you get all the experience on your tarantulas. When you get levels on tarantulas, they can be unstoppable too. So there's another cool trick. Awesome. All right. I think that covers all the replays for today. Hope you guys have learned something. If you're on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.